I wanted to make a video tonight on my solution to frozen prusik knots. And so what I'm talking about is deer hunting with a lifeline and a prusik knot. And what's happened over the last few years is I've switched to this system, which I like. Here's a prusik knot. This is my lineman's belt, but it's a good example. Helps me illustrate what I'm talking about. So here's a prusik knot, and what happens? I hunt in north central Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota, Nebraska, Iowa in December. These areas freeze. And what happens is water runs down the lifeline and finds this prusik knot from rain, condensation, whatever. Finds this prusik knot and freezes in a ball of frozen ice, and you get to your tree stand and you can't move your prusik knot. And in my opinion, that basically renders the system, the whole safety system, useless. If you can't move your prusik knot up or down your lifeline, then it really isn't going to do you much good. So what I've chosen to do is get away from the prusik knot. I still use the lifeline, but I'm switching now to a mechanical fall arrest device. Fall arrest device that I've chosen is made by Petzl. Hopefully you can see that. It's called ASAP Lock. They make two devices, one's ASAP and one's ASAP Lock. The ASAP Lock device has this little pin down here, this little tab, this little button. In the up position, or the open position, you can go up or down your lifeline, and when you fall, the device engages and you don't fall very far. In the down or locked position, you can only go up your lifeline. You can't go down because the device is engaged on the rope and it doesn't allow you to fall. So I chose the ASAP Lock because of that. I was worried that the engagement time between the time you fall and the time the device locks onto the rope would be more than I was wanting to deal with. So I wanted to be able to lock the device and know that I'd immediately be, my fall would immediately be arrested. In hindsight, after using this product for a while, the engagement time is basically instantaneous, and I'll try to illustrate that for you. And so in hindsight, I actually think the ASAP would have been fine, but I chose the ASAP Lock. Another difference with the ASAP Lock is this piece here, this metal piece here, is different from the ASAP. If you choose ASAP Lock, you need to get an ASAP Zorber. ASAP Zorber, they make two sizes. This is the 40 centimeter. Petzl's, I believe, a European company, so that's all metric across the pond, so that's 40 centimeters, I believe. And this is the longer size, and this size I like very much. It's perfect. I wouldn't want it any smaller. I don't think I'd want it any shorter. I really wouldn't want it any longer either. And the reason why you need to use a Zorber, an ASAP Zorber tether, is because what you need to realize is a lot of the kinetic energy when you fall is going to go across this pin here. Okay, and so you may be saying to yourself, well, because I said this to myself, I'll just take my carabiner and I'll hook it right here. And I'll get rid of this, I don't need a zorber, and I'll just hook my carabiner to my harness, to my tether that I made and to my harness. But the zorber is designed to unravel. Should you achieve a certain amount of force on your fall, this will unravel and take a lot of that kinetic energy away. And I believe it helps to dissipate the force on this pin, is what my thought is. If you use just a carabiner attached to your tether, depending on what type of tether you're using, there's going to be more force across this pin. Now granted, if you're doing this right, you're never going to fall very far. Your tree strap, your prusik knot, your tether, whatever, it's going to be positioned in such a way that you don't fall very far, so the force won't be very much. But you are moving away from the design intention of this product should you choose not to use an ASAP zorber with the ASAP lock. So why bother? I mean, just get yourself the zorber. Let's see. Another feature, can I just get a minute? Another feature I wanted to go over is line diameter. This is an example of Muddy's lifeline. It's also used on their lineman's rope. This is 9 millimeters in diameter, and it is not compatible with ASAP lock. ASAP lock is compatible with rope diameters of greater than or equal to 10 millimeters, I believe, up to 12 or 13 millimeters, I think. I'd have to look at the manual. But this is not compatible. It's 9 millimeters. Hunter Safety Systems Lifeline is also not compatible with ASAP lock. And I believe that one's 9 millimeters as well. I emailed Muddy and I emailed Hunter Safety System. Hunter Safety System got back to me right away. Muddy eventually got back to me. They don't tell you the diameter of their line online or on their brochure or anywhere. You have to just email them and hope that they respond, or you can take my word for it. It's 9 millimeters. So let me show you putting the ASAP lock onto your lifeline. Try to do an example here. Here's an example of a lifeline. This one's 10 millimeters. Try to do this one-handed. I might not be able to. So I'm just going to fit that over into this groove here like that. And then I'm going to push down on these pins here. I'm going to have to put the camera down to do that. Well, I can try to do it with... No. There. So all I did, these two pins were up here. And I just pushed them down and they lock, engage onto the rope. Okay? So it's in the lock position now. I'm going to put it in the open position. Just step on the bottom of the... Okay? So with it in the open position, you can go up or down your lifeline. But should you fall, it locks onto the lifeline. Okay? In the lock position, you can't go down because it's already engaged. You can only go up the lifeline. So again, if you fall, I mean, that engagement time is almost instantaneous. And I've tried different things, pirouetting out of my tree stand, pretend I fall asleep. I'm just going to take it off now. Whirling, dervaling out of my tree stand. I mean, I've done it all. I can't tried to make the system fail basically, and I can't do it. It's a solid system. I'm happy with it. As far as the carabiner goes, I've chosen this style of carabiner. This one you have to push up, turn it. This one's made by Petzl as well, and open. As soon as I let go, carabiner's locked. Okay, and I like this style of biner because of the possibility of rollout. The rollout can occur if rollout can occur. Here's a muddy carabiner. Okay. So one-handed video here. This is a Nutty's products are not super great, in my opinion, my humble opinion. So this is a carabiner. It does have this lock here. Put it in the lock position. Carabiner is locked. But let's just pretend it's 4 in the morning. It's dark out. Haven't had any coffee yet. Forget to lock your carabiner. Okay. Rollout can occur if the rope were to get oriented like that, okay, and you were to fall, or you were to put pressure on the rope and physically roll yourself out of your carabiner. That can happen. This is not going to save you now. It's going to come falling down with you to the ground, but it's not going to stop you from falling anymore. That's rollout, and rollout can occur. And so I recommend this style of carabiner. In my opinion, rollout, it maybe still could happen, but it's a lot less likely. I'll show you another style of carabiner. This is a carabiner that has a similar design. Push down, open, lock. Okay, this one's made by Rock Exotica, I believe. Yeah. Rock Exotica, and this turns on a bearing. It helps to prevent line twist. This is a tether that I made. So you can see from this design, rollout, like I say, maybe could happen, but in my opinion it's a lot less likely. And the rope would have to somehow get, I don't even know how I could make it roll out, but these are nice beaners. This one is 30 kilonewtons on the horizontal axis. That's this axis here, actually. It's not this axis, it's this one. Okay, 30 kilonewtons. So I don't know if you threw a grizzly bear out of your tree stand, you know, it would stop. I don't know how much 30 kilonewtons, how much force you need to, how far you'd need to fall to get to 30 kilonewtons of force, but it's more than we're ever going to be dealing with hunting from a tree stand, putting your tree strap above you at all times. So, but I just wanted to show you this. I actually prefer this one. This one is, it's stout, it's very light, it's plenty of, I think it's 24 kilonewtons on this axis. It's a lot cheaper than the Rock Exotica, and in using it, I just like this beaner better. That's about all I wanted to go over. real quickly, just so the type of harness I'm talking about here is not a traditional safety harness. I use a climbing harness. This is made by Black Diamond. It's called the Alpine Bod. The one with the little green tab here is my kids. Yep, my kids use a Black Diamond Alpine Bod. I use this harness all the way up to late season. The Alpine Bod doesn't come in a size large enough to accommodate, wool bibs and insulated bibs and long undies and everything else. So in late season I switched to the Coulier, Black Diamond Coulier. This thing weighs less than a pound. I don't even know it's on. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you've got your ASAP lock or your fall arrest device on your lifeline, your ASAP absorber or your tether hooked into your climbing harness, okay? That's the system that I'm talking about. That's the system that I use. With these climbing harnesses, people say, oh, you could fall out of your harness. Well, try it. Try to fall out of a climbing harness if it's on right. I've tried diving head first. It's not, in my opinion, it's not possible. When you fall, you always face the tree. When you fall, the suspension trauma is not an issue, like it is with the traditional style, kind of what I call a traditional style safety harness. And I feel very safe in a climbing harness. I can put it over my clothes. I can get to my tree, put all my clothes on, put this over the top of my clothes, climb up my tree, no problem. Really the reason I'm doing this video tonight, I see a lot of videos on prusik knots and guys and lifelines, and guys are excited about them, and I understand that, but I just wanted to say a couple of years ago I came to my tree stand the last day of bow season in Wisconsin, and I got to my tree stand and my prusik knot was frozen, and I chose to hunt anyway. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to get my buck and climb my tree. Shot my buck at dark, and it was 16 below zero, and I was really ready to get down. I got up, I stepped onto my I was using not tree steps but tree sticks, and my top strap on my tree sticks came undone, and I basically did the splits grabbed a branch, held on, didn't fall, but the hair on the back of my neck was standing up. My phone was dead. If I had fallen then, I don't even want to think about it. It was a stupid move, but just wanted to tell you guys out there, I mean, I've watched YouTube videos, I learned so much from YouTube, I like to kind of give back a little bit. Prusik knots are great early season, but be aware, you could walk up to your tree stand and this thing could be completely encapsulated in ice. I walked up to my stand and it's not even encapsulated in ice, it's just locked in place from ice onto my lifeline. And I worry about that. I worry about, obviously, for myself and potential of that happening to anybody else. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.